Faculty and local officials condemned the university, with some saying First Amendment rights are being violated. Ryan Chandler joins us live from the campus now with more. Ryan.
Well, protesters were not shied away from campus after the events that we saw yesterday. You'll see there's about 100 pro-Palestinian demonstrators in the main mall. Very quiet, very peaceful. This is what they tell us they wanted to do yesterday before they were met with that police presence. These are members of the Palestinian Solidarity Committee, and they announced today a list of demands they have from university leadership. That includes financial divestment from Israeli interests and notably the resignation of UT President Jay Hartzell, who some faculty members said that they have lost trust in to protect students and free speech on campus. Now, by my estimate, this crowd was much, much larger than it was yesterday. I think the response yesterday served to only bring more people out. It looked to be at least 5 times larger than the crowd at the same time yesterday. And there were no arrests. The response was significantly different today. No state troopers in riot gear, just a dozen or so UTPD officers watching to make sure that everybody was safe and following the rules. A lot of this protest was focused on the idea of free speech, what it is and what it isn't. We spoke to a First Amendment attorney and a law enforcement official to get their perspectives on that question.
People are allowed to voice their views without the government silencing them, even if most people find those views repugnant. So when you have the governor coming out on Twitter and saying he's glad these arrests happened, he thinks students should be expelled if they engage in anti-Semitic speech, that violates both the letter and the spirit of the First Amendment.
Every one of those rights has limits, okay? So law enforcement officers are taught free speech stops to be free speech when it becomes disorderly conduct, when it becomes assault by threat, when it becomes some criminal behavior. So that's what they're trained in.
Now, the university issued a statement this afternoon saying that close to half of the protesters who were arrested yesterday were not affiliated with the university, meaning they weren't students or faculty. And they assert that the nature of these protests were very different between what we saw yesterday to today. They say that yesterday these protesters had the idea in mind to disrupt campus operations. Clearly now there's no disruption going on whatsoever as this continues to be a peaceful assembly.